I've already lost money, There it is.
Hey.
That's a
a
lot.
great start to the
There it
episode,
is.
absolutely.
That's a thing now.
Alrighty, so episode 4 of the Hook, Riff and Banger podcast. Doing a little bit of a meet the team. So I'm Faye.
Hey, I'm Dan.
Jess.
Dave. And Ben.
Alrighty, so how long have you guys all been in the scene for? Any projects on the side, music, bands?
Dan, you start.
Give us a background.
I'm a casual spectator of the scene for as long as I can remember. It's like my social thing. It's where I see, I guess, all you guys. So I've been doing that since I was a wee lad, a young boy. Can't even remember how old I was, but I was certainly at underage gigs. I remember one of my first being a Naib Liviscaris gig at Dandenong. It was like maybe the Castle. Is that the venue name? I don't remember.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was awesome. Being a young guy there. But since then, yeah, just everything, anything I get the chance to see. Yeah. What about you guys?
Oh, God. I don't even know. I played in a few bands for a couple years. Nothing at the moment. I don't even know when I started really going to gigs again. I think it was after COVID, everything sort of picked up again. Like, I never really went to any local gigs. Everything was big, like at Max Spots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then ever since after COVID ended, just started going to everything I possibly could. And it's been awesome. There's so many incredible people. Who are you guys? I've known Dan and Ben for a while.
Yeah.
Never met you until last time.
Yeah.
First episode of the pod.
Worth it. Yeah. I was going to gigs from a very young age.
All right, now you've been.
I was sorry.
Just throwing you off.
What? So yeah, I was going to gigs on the Gold Coast when I was 15 or 16, growing up there. Where does it start, sort of thing. Like, I don't know what you would say the first heavy gig was, but I do remember going to Evanescence when I was 14 or something like that.
Heavy, bro.
Oh yeah. Before that, I would have been about 10 or 11. My father took me to the Rolling Stones in Sydney. But in terms of like heavy gigs, I was going to I grew up listening to like metalcore and all those sorts of genres when I was young. So I remember going to underage gigs or all age gigs in that sort of a space for a long time. I remember seeing, kid you not, I Killed the Prom Queen and Bring Me the Horizon at Ashmore PCYC.
All right.
It would have been like 2008. Man, no, I would have been younger
early
than that.
days.
2006 or 7. Someone on the internet can find that gig. Ashmore PCYC. It was insane to think back and see how far Bring Me the Horizon have come in between then and now.
Massive stadium shows.
Yeah, I Killed the Prom Queen. Haven't done anything. I think they've worked out. But
What's the
Yeah.
venue they're at? What's that? As a Melburnian, I don't know.
yeah, I think you've got PCY. I don't know if you've
I
got
don't know what
PCYCs down here. Actually, it's
What
a
is that?
Police Citizens Youth Centre.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So funny
Cool,
story.
man.
I also went to at this same PCYC. My parents used to send me to school holiday daycare there basically when I was 10, 11, 12 sort of thing. So it was weird going back a couple of years later for me at the time, the heaviest gig I've ever been to sort of thing at a PCYC. It was in a gymnasium basically. It was this little makeshift stage. Tickets would have been like $5 or $10 or something. So yeah, that was one of the first really heavy gigs I went to. And then when I was living up on the Gold Coast, constantly making the trip up to Brisbane for gigs up there, local gigs, little gigs and big ones as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, a while, and then moved down here about 2013. So going to gigs here all that time as well.
What were our first gigs like? Do we remember?
I was about to tell you mine. Mine was with Faye.
Yeah, ours
It
was
was
the
2009.
same.
It was Dream Theater.
Little prog nerds.
The coolest part, like the coolest part of the whole thing was being backstage, not backstage, outside the venue, outside the loading dock, and just hearing them play a song they didn't even play on the night.
We were eavesdropping on their
Losing my
sound
mind.
check,
Cool.
and we were losing our fucking
God, I was
minds.
such a little nerd.
Because they're like known for that, aren't they? Like playing different
They- yeah,
songs.
when-
on
Yeah, they
every
played
night
them
of
the
the
next
tour.
night.
Back when
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
back when Portland was in the
Yeah.
band, they just changed the set list every single night.
Yeah, it's
which is insane to
I
think,
don't think they'll
considering
do that now.
how.
It's back. I think they're going to
No,
stick
I think they got to
more
rein
of
it in. A
Maybe
bit,
that's why you got
maybe.
kicked out.
Maybe.
Sorry, left on good terms. Let's cut that out.
Correction. Correction.
We do not endorse Ben's comment.
I agree.
Well, while we're on the topic of bands, do you want to start us off, Ben? Who are your favourite Aussie bands, or what's your favourite Melbourne band?
I don't know if they're a Melbourne band. They're definitely an Aussie band. I really love Low. Low are just doing some really interesting, different stuff from my perspective. They're really, really good, fun music, but they're really quite interesting as well. So, once the other thing is, like, once you get familiar with the band, they kind of drop off your radar in terms of relevancy sort of thing. After a while, they become less fresh. But Low, every time I see them come up for a gig, and every time I go see them at a gig, I'm like, fuck, this band's really good, sort of thing. So yeah, love them a lot.
I agree.
I only saw them for the first time a couple months ago, and it was incredible.
That was insane. Yeah.
They are a great band, and they're constantly just doing great things. And I think what you said about loving a band so much and then just watching them, like every time you see them, you're like, oh yeah, this is actually amazing. They're doing so many good things and growing and continuing to surprise you. Yeah.
Visually, they're stunning as well. Like, is it Orca, the music video they did,
Yeah,
where it's
the
like
pink one?
yeah,
Yeah,
watch
that's
it.
weird.
It's you'll never forget it. But yeah, just visually as well, they're just on another level. Conceptually, it's really, really cool.
How about you, Dan? Oh, okay.
Well, Dan.
What's the question again? Please
Favorite-
cut that. Out of kindness, cut
All
that.
right, let's have a pause. Dan.
What's the question?
What's your favorite band?
Favorite
favorite
Aussie
band.
Favorite
bands.
local band,
That's hard.
Australian band.
Again, I'm not sure. Local. I would have said Low. They honestly
Got in before you.
This is not fair. Can we cut it around? Sorry. I certainly listened to their album the most. It was my most played album last year. I collect those stats, last.fm. So that I'm wearing Soul Dusk right now. It's been cool to see them grow quite quickly too, producing some really cool folk stuff, but with a lot of genre bending. It's really hard. It changes a lot. I might go to a gig and see someone and just start playing them. We're at a gig, the Treebeard gig, the band before Treebeard.
Soma Plume.
Summer Plume.
Yeah, Soma Plume. Holy crap, that was awesome. Listening to them the day after the gig, really unique, interesting music, really unexpected. So I expect I'll be listening to them for quite some time now.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
Huge surprise. I'd never seen them before, and they were epic.
I think I read it was like the
Their first time, I think, here. So
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Huge.
yeah.
No wonder you haven't seen them before.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were cool. Seeing them step onto stage, just didn't expect the sounds that would come out of them. Awesome. Really cool. What about you?
It's your turn.
Your turn, Dan.
You're up,
I
Dave.
think now, I've only seen him twice. Black Aleph have become a favorite to so many people now. They're just so different compared to anyone else. Just experimental and so awesome to hear something that's metal but not heavy on drums and
I guess in the traditional
riffs and
sense.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to adopt another band as well from New Zealand, just Spook the Horses. I wish I could say they were from here, but they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, across the pond, it's
Fantastic.
basically
Yeah.
You do the
they
same
count,
thing
right?
with all New Zealand things.
Yeah.
If they're good enough and you're Australian, you adopt them as your own.
They're so ridiculously good. We saw them play with The Ocean and Low and LLNN. One of the hardest band names
Yeah, try and say that fast.
A while ago at the Corner Hotel, and it was just
One of them.
the drums are just tribal and rhythmic, and it was
Yeah.
very, very cool. I absolutely loved their sound.
Yeah, I remember seeing them and then being really frustrated that they hadn't released anything at the moment. They got an album coming up, but at the time you're like, oh, this is cool, walking into it unexpectedly, and then there's nothing on their social media pages or the band page. Like,
Yeah.
they haven't released anything yet.
Speak the horses.
No, sorry. Oh my god.
Oh, Black Aleph.
Oh my god. Yeah. Cut that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But Black Aleph do have a record coming out, I think in October, so keep an eye out for that.
Absides? Absides?
Upsides? I think it's Upsides.
All right.
Correct us if we're wrong.
Yeah. To me, it looks like a Greek
Get
word.
in the comments and let us know if it mispronounced
Yeah.
something.
Alrighty, and on the topic of, I guess, local bands, you guys got any favorite venues?
I love Max Watts.
Yeah.
I think that's the first place I ever photographed like a big band, and it was incredible. Little venues, I really love the Evelyn. And probably, what else? I'm not going to take them all up. I love the Evelyn. That was the first place I ever saw the Ocean in like 2013. And I think Faye mentioned it. Loic, the vocalist, was like on the ceiling climbing
Yep.
on the rafters. And like, I got kicked in the face by the guitar player by accident.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's a blessing, right?
I hope it was an accident.
It's got one of those faces,
That's
right?
gotta That's got to be one of the best moments.
That was
Getting kicked
awesome.
in the face
Yeah.
by your favourite band.
Didn't
I
get-
mean, if your favorite band is the Ocean, you're gonna get kicked in the face by
Yeah.
it. Eventually, it's a matter of time.
All right.
How about you, Dan?
What is your favourite venue?
It's hard to say. I remember how much heartbreak I felt when the venue was closing doors. That really sucked. Like a painful kick in the gut. Not the face. So I love that. There's a lot. I could list a lot because they all have their qualities. I've seen a lot at Stay Gold in the last year or two, probably longer. And that's really grown on me. Really good sound there. And as for like the bigger venues, yeah, like Max Watts is cool. 170 Russell's cool. You can always get a good spot. Sounds great, consistent. I think we've got a lot of good places. Yeah.
I think the Gasso is probably my favorite venue, but I haven't been all that much. So I'd like to get to the Gasso more often, have more local gigs there.
Still never been to the main room there. I've only ever
Yeah,
been to the
goes
roof,
upstairs.
the upstairs.
Yeah. I'd like to go to more gigs at the Gasso, basically. I think the Forum is great as well.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a big international band, sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
beautiful spot.
Barbarian are playing at the Gasso.
I thought you were going to say the Forum. I was like,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Oh, what?
Good for them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
That
no,
would be great.
Barbarian are playing at the Gasso soon. That'd be
I
good.
think the Gasso is really good for that because it's another one of those band rooms that's you can see everything from everywhere. And if you get a spot up the stairs and you really want to watch everything, also watching like really heavy bands with a disco ball moving in the middle is just such a special treat.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah, I like the Gasso
Absolutely.
too. I'm going to ask everybody the hardest question that we've found so far. Starting things off.
Thanks.
What you're in the hot seat. What is your favorite local band that is no longer?
This one keeps me up at night. I don't know if they're local actually, but what I was thinking was Grey Tomb. I remember seeing them years ago, maybe 2017 or something, and they've sort of gone quiet. I don't know the story behind it, but I remember seeing them at a few shows and awesome, really cool stuff. Did anyone else see them?
The name vaguely rings a bell.
A friend of
That's
mine
what
played with
they
them
play.
quite a bit.
You what?
A friend of mine played with them quite often.
As in the band
In-
or like
in the,
other
like-
bands?
Gigs that they played.
Excellent, yeah.
Mm.
They were good fun. I'm sure there's other bands too that I've kind of forgotten about that I'll have a CD of, getting dust at the moment. But yeah,
For
it's a good
those
question.
for those listening at home that haven't heard of Grey Tomb, what drew you into them? So what elements of their music got you interested, or was it
Oh
just
my
a really hot
This is-
vocalist or something like that?
All vocalists are hot, right?
If you ask them, they'll say
Yeah.
yes.
I don't know. I think they just put on a really solid show. It was heavy as hell. Yeah, I just remember feeling good. It's more of a feeling at this stage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
How about you guys?
I prepared mine because
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it ever since last time we recorded. It's definitely Encircling Sea. They're just like I don't even know. Yeah, the same thing. I don't know if they're actually still around or not. The last thing they posted was like 2020.
Yeah.
So they're just ridiculously good ambient post-metal band that I never actually got to see.
Oh,
And I
Oh,
really wish I did, because
I caught them a couple of times.
that album, that last album they
Great.
released is one of my absolute favorite post-metal albums
cool.
ever done.
It was Harkin.
Yeah,
wasn't
that
it?
one, yeah. Ridiculously good-looking vinyl. It's like a yellow, black splatter.
Did you get it on vinyl?
Yeah.
Yes. Good job.
Are they local, like Melbourne, or?
It's in there, Melbourne, yeah.
Cool.
I still carry a candle, carry a torch for Arcane. They're an old
It's a good
Brisbane prog band, which some of their members have gone on to other things, to do other things. Some of them are now in Caligula's Horse. Some of them are now in Echo Tide, which are like a post-rock band who I think just released an album, actually, a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, Arcane had a sort of big impact on me when I was 18, 19, sort of fairly young and starting to go to gigs where I was allowed to drink.
Yep.
Phrase that in a certain way. So yeah, they're an amazing band, and their most recent album, or their last album, Known Learned, was a big double album. It was a big prog epic sort of thing, a big concept album all the way through, and yeah, it was really a beautiful album, and I miss them a lot. But I think they're on an indefinite hiatus. I don't know if they'll be back anytime soon.
Did you ever catch them at like Prog Fest or like Sonic Forge at the SB back in the day?
I think I saw them at the Brisbane Prog Fest.
Yeah.
It would have been 2011, I
Yeah.
think. I did catch them on so they played a Known Learned album tour down here in Melbourne at the SB, but it wasn't part of Prog Fest at the SB. It was just a gig in the Gershwin room. I remember on that day I'd put a down deposit on a car, so I'd like paid $2,000 or whatever to get a car, to buy a car. And I maxed out my credit card and like my debit card, so I couldn't buy their merch. And like, this is like, not only do I still carry a torch for Arcane, like I'd say they're probably still one of my like favorite bands of all time as well. They're just not my current favorite because they're not doing anything at the moment. But yeah, I was like, this is like my favorite band ever, and I can't buy their shirt from their album release. And I didn't know that they were going to disband. It wasn't long after that gig that they sort of went on hiatus. So. But yeah, luckily a friend was coming to the gig as well, and he like lent me $50. I was like, I'll give you the money back tomorrow. I was like, I really need this shirt. So yeah, it was a tough gig, that one. It was good.
All right. Loudest gig you've ever been to?
Ooh. I can answer that. This was not a gig that I chose to go to.
Were you forced into it?
Not quite.
Sometimes you go to a pub and there's just one guy in the corner with an acoustic guitar. It's like, you turn that fucking shit down.
It's not cafe related. I remember being at the Croxton and Young Blood were playing, and that was the loudest in terms of like, it just hurt my ears so much. Like, I've been to like death metal, black metal shows, just crazy stuff that's really loud, but this was like painful loud. I had like ear protection in as well.
Wow.
And it's just,
Oh, wow.
it was insane. It was so insane. My skull felt like it was about to explode. So that was the loudest gig I've been to. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, mine was when Ishan played. Ishan, I never learned to say it properly. Played at, I think it was again Max Watts, and a friend's band that doesn't exist as well, Mar Mortem, black metal band.
Yeah.
They supported, and then also Ilva played.
Yeah.
And Ilva was
that the gig where they had the white like strip lights or whatever, and they were
think
just facing
so.
the crowd? That was just an assault.
they had
It was so good.
the guitarist's stage sound was louder than what was coming out of the PA. It was like double stacks for each
Beautiful.
player. It was ridiculous. It was good,
Yeah.
but fuck, it hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, that hurt on so many levels. That
Yeah.
show hurt the eyes, it hurt the ears. Yeah, Ilva are great.
Destroy the senses.
They are such a heavy experience.
That's
Yeah.
the only time I've seen it as well.
Yeah, really.
I need to catch me again.
Yeah, they're still kind of doing some stuff here and there. They're getting about still.
Yeah, nice.
It wasn't an Australian gig, but probably the loudest gig I've ever been to was Conjurer at the Key Club in Leeds. in the UK. It's only loud because before they even started playing, I lost one of my earplugs. And they're a pretty loud band to begin with, and losing an earplug is not, like, hearing protection earplug is not great. But maybe as a second one here in Australia, I did see Motorhead with Lemmy in 2000 and I don't know, 10 or 11. They played the Gold Coast Convention Centre. We never get gigs in the Gold Coast, so I always had to travel to Brisbane for them. And yeah, they played the Gold Coast Convention Centre. It was so weird. They had like the stacked chairs and stuff, but no one was in the chairs. It was also probably one of the roughest gigs I've ever been to as well.
And
like,
Sounds typical of
yeah,
the
I used to go
Motorhead
to
crowd.
Yeah, I used to go to gigs where they throw their arms around and do all that sort of stuff, and you know, crowd killing and stuff. But yeah, still somehow Motorhead was like the roughest gig I've ever been to. I had bruises all the way down my back and all this sort of stuff the next day. And I was like, 20 or something at the time. It was great.
Well, it makes sense in Motorhead. Their tagline's like, louder than...
Louder than hell.
Yeah.
Oh, it's something like louder than everything else or whatever.
Yeah.
So, makes sense.
Which does include hell, I assume.
Well,
Everything louder than everything else.
yeah, that's it, yeah.
If I'm to answer that question properly now, you talking about Motorhead reminds me of one of the first gigs I went to. It was maybe at Rod Laver Arena. It was Iron Maiden, and I was probably just 18 and bought like a really cheap ticket, and friend's mom who worked there snuck me in and a bunch of mates to like the standing area, and this was like as the VIPs went through. So I was second from the front for Iron Maiden as one of the first shows I ever saw. And that was insane. Like, I remember being able to lift my legs up, and I was just like so crushed in by the people surrounding me. I was like being a sardine in a little can, in a huge can. Rod Laver Arena. That was so loud. It was awesome.
Was
really cool.
that the Somewhere Back in Time tour?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Insane. It was so good.
That would have been legendary.
What was that one you went to? I dropped you off that.
I went to the Final Frontier one. I missed
right.
out
I
on
was
the
waiting
Somewhere
on
in Time one because I was still a little youngin', and my parents wouldn't let me go because they're like, metal's full of bad people. I mean,
Demon music.
You couldn't
I
sneak
met all
in
you
with
guys
the
through
friends'
metal,
mum.
and clearly not a bad bunch at all. But no, I saw the Final Frontier, and that was an incredible tour to catch them on too.
Did they have Eddie on that tour that you went to?
I think they had multiple Eddies. I don't remember.
Yeah, right.
Maybe.
Because I
There
remember
was
I
certainly
saw
Eddie, yes.
Yeah.
the first time I saw Iron Maiden was at a Soundwave festival all the way back when, and I thought it was maybe the same tour. And I was heartbroken because I didn't have Eddie.
Yeah.
Even though it was a festival gig, I was like, "Where's the Eddie?
Oh,
Like,
no.
that's what I came for. I want to see you. I want to see the giant
Yeah,
thing."
and I saw him on that one too. That was the Final Frontier, and I don't.
Yeah. They had a Final Frontier. I remember that.
I think at Rod Laver they had a Eddie come out and do his little
Yeah.
shtick, but I don't think they had him at Soundwave
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Too many casualties.
Yeah. Let him loose in the crowd.
Speaking of stage antics, what is the most, what's the most incredible performance you've ever watched, whether that's really extreme, really outrageous, or something really unexpected?
Such a hard question to answer.
It's so open to
when we've
interpretation,
seen-
eh? Yeah.
Not even the phrasing though. It's just being at so many gigs.
I actually can't think of any.
Yeah.
Oh, I could
Now
think
I'm
of,
on-
I
now I'm
could
on the
think of
spot.
one
Yeah,
because we've been to.
We've
one.
spoken at length about that, the Ocean gig at the Evelyn. I think that would be, for me,
That was a good one.
the gig that was kind of the most unhinged that I've seen.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh.
like climbing the rafters?
Yeah, climbing the rafters sort of thing.
I remember
There it is.
my one was I saw Duran Gray, a Japanese band, play with Dillinger Escape Plan. Again at Max Watts. And it was I just got so excited when Greg crowd surfed and just came over me, and I just like held him up. I was like,
Dillinger
so
Escape
handsome,
Plan
man.
is such a cheat answer for this question because
Oh,
anytime you
they're
see
all
Dillinger,
crazy, like-
things are gonna go off. I remember I saw Dillinger at a Soundwave as well. It might have even been the same.
I think
Soundwave
it
we
was
were
I
just
think I went to
talking
the
about.
sideshow for that.
Yeah, and this was like first song. Within 2 minutes, the guitarist. I'm not that familiar with Dillinger. I think it was maybe the bassist actually. He broke the neck of his guitar off his guitar
Wow.
and then threw it into the crowd. And he didn't just like throw it a little bit into the crowd. It was gone. It was like 20 people back.
Far out.
And I was like, he's not seeing that again. And he doesn't look like he cares at all. It was amazing.
Yeah, there was a point where the guitarist was like crowd surfing, but he was being held up and he was standing on the crowd and like walking, and people were catching his feet and just like walking across the thing. It was
Amazing.
so cool. Go on.
Oh.
Pressure's on now, Dan.
So, all right. God damn it.
Take all the time you need. We can cut it out.
Yeah,
in the
no,
silence.
It's a fucking hard question.
It is a tough question. I
Yeah.
think it's sparked from like Miles
Yeah.
Barbarian talking about all the flames. Lyra.
Yeah, there's lots. So like I can recall like I remember seeing Abath, or it's probably not, it wasn't Immortal. It was Abath. It was his solo thing.
I've seen several videos where he says that's not how you're supposed to pronounce
Oh
it.
really?
Abath.
Yeah, so seeing him on stage was insane because he's kind of a meme in a respectful way. And he was just taking the piss, you know, in a good way. He knew it. He was like crab walking and just doing all this stupid stuff. I recall that being awesome to see. Any like Devin Townsend gig where he throws the crowd off with the the encore shtick. It's one of the first times I saw him like way back, and he let the crowd know like, I'm gonna do this stupid encore thing that everyone does. I hate it. I want you guys to just boo me. I want you to tell me to fuck off. And just like he just wanted us to cop abuse or throw abuse at him, and that was awesome. They really got the crowd hyped up. And then there's like Peters of black metal bands that do the whole blood theatrics thing, Nurgle spitting blood, things like that. Yeah, I can say those. Yeah. Are we satisfied with my answer there?
I guess.
It took me a long time.
I suppose.
It's a very good answer. Yeah.
I'll think of one like way after this.
I-
I'll think of so many. to be
I
honest.
also love it when bands are like, we're not doing the encore thing. We're just clap and we'll do another one. Like they're not doing the whole, I'm going to go away for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm old. Let's just
Yeah.
do it. Let's get the gig going.
I love when they set expectations too.
Yeah.
Like it's good.
All right, so there we go. Gig guide for October. Busy month. So on
Sorry.
the
I've got a fly on my face. That's...
fuck's sake, Dan. So gig guide for October, busy month. On the 4th of October, Friday, got Sleep Makes Waves with their 10-year anniversary of Love of Cartography, with supports from Light and Rollo Tomasi, and tickets are through the wonderful Birds Road Records.
Also on Friday we have Spire, Midnight Odyssey and Petrol at the Evelyn. Yeah, tickets through Evelyn Hotel and Oztix.
Then again on the 4th of Friday, Sport for Choice, October, Go Smoker, 100 Years War, Eaten by Rats, and Clavier Krieger at the Old Bar, and tickets are through the Old Bar website or Oztix.
Lots of choices.
Oh yeah.
On Friday, the 11th of October, Dr. Colossus are going to destroy the tote. They're playing with H.L. Gillespie and Carcinoid. Tickets are through Oztix.
Friday the 18th of October, Nile are playing at Max Watts with supports from Ashen, Carnal Viscera and Writhing, and tickets through Oztix.
Nice.
And on Friday, the 18th of October, Disentomb are playing their Misery Above tour at Stay Gold. They've got supports from Internal Bleeding, Honest Crooks, Delaquest, and Threshold. Tickets are through Destroy All Lines.
And another one for the 18th of October, Friday, Bentham's Head album launch, Blood, Salt and Ash at the Workers Club. It's going to be a real good one, with supports from Cull, Treebeard and Black Aleph. And tickets are through the Workers Club website or Oztix.
And on Saturday, the 19th, at the Last Chance, we have Class Trader. We have Bodies, Gil Cerrone. God, I hope that's how you say it. And Canary Bones. It's a 2 p.m. show. Free entry too.
On Friday, the 25th of October, the Melbourne City Massacre 2 is happening at Stay Gold. So it's a bit of a Halloween thing. Headlined by Alga Mortis with Blood Mouth, Wet Work, Wicked Sisters and Deliver Us from Evil. There's Halloween-themed pizzas in the front bar and prizes for best dressed as well. Tickets through Oztex.
Saturday the 26th of October, Low and Burial Pit double headliner at Shot Kickers. Supports from Class Trader and tickets through Moshtix.
Nice.
And on Thursday, the 31st of October, it's Halloween night, and there is a Halloween party at the Bendy with Gutless performing as Gutzig, doing covers of The Misfits and Danzig. Supports a bunch of friends doing covers. Tickets are going to be through Oztix. Best dressed will win a prize from the Mill and from Hellraiser Tattoo.
Cool.
And now going into November, on the 1st of November, we have the Ghost Smoker Incarnate Tour at the Berkey Band Room with supports from Mountain Wizard Death Cults, Myriad Drone and Giant, and tickets are through Oztix.
Also, on Friday the 1st of November, we have Aardvark Hellraiser fundraiser at the Gasso. Supports from Reaper, Barbarian, and Fly. Tickets through Oztix for that one.
And on the 4th of November, Monday, the 4th of November, the day before the public holiday, the High Lung Tour hits Melbourne at the Forum. Make sure you grab your tickets through Destroy All Lines.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
They've already sold out one, haven't they, for that?
I think so.
Yeah.
added a
There's only
show.
like limited tickets for the second one, I think.
If you've not bought tickets already, there's another show on the Wednesday, I think. So grab your tickets for the Wednesday show, which is on the 6th or something like that, if you missed out on tickets for the Monday show.
Yeah.
Because it will probably sell out. So
Go see a show. Support live music. Support your local bar. Buy some merch. Buy music.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Rock and
tune in
roll.
next
Come
month for
hang
the
out with
next
us.
episode of the Hook, Riff and Banger podcast. See you there.